Welcome to Yogaroo Online. And in this practice, we're going to focus on the immune system and what are the things that we can do on our yoga mat to help to support the immune system. And again, it's important to remember that the body has got this, it really knows what it's doing, but there's lots of different things that we can do in our life on our mat and what we eat, how we relax, how we sleep, how we interact with people, that can help us along the way. And there's no harm kind of giving it that extra little boost, even though it's very clever and knows what it's doing. So our immune system is our defense system against illness, disease, and infection. And it fights microorganisms from the external world, but it also clears out and fights cells that have malfunctioned in the body. So it's really got this vast job that it needs to do. So over the course of this next 6 weeks, we're going to be looking at the different systems of the body. And as a way to kind of like look at their relationship, so digestion, respiratory, circulatory, their relationship with the immune system, because as I was researching this, I really got the kind of picture, the bigger picture of the immune system in how it works hand in hand with all the different systems and how they link back to the immune system all the time, and then they link with each other too. But we'll get into that further into this series of six classes. Okay, so we'll get started in CatCow position. So yeah, as I mentioned, the things that we'll be doing our mat, so our tools at each class, I'll kind of just highlight the tools that, help each system of the body with the immune system in general. So this is an all-encompassing, and then we'll tap into each of them individually. The immune system, the poses and things that I think of as being very immune-based are twists, inversions, and back bends, because really what we're trying to do is stimulate all the organs of the body to work and the systems of the body to work. Okay, so be embedding twists and inversions and back bends into this class. They don't have to be big ones, just anything that gives a sensation. Okay, on all fours there now, make sure that the shoulders are over the wrists, the hips are over the knees. We'll just go through a few rounds of cat-cow. I will explain the breath and give some alignment cues as you get into the swing with it. Move with your unique breath here. Inhale, the belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lifts the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly softens, maybe lift those sit bones up and back. The shoulders towards the back of the hips there, and exhale, lifts the spine up towards the ceiling. Feel those shoulder blades, those lovely triangular blades spreading across your back there. And then maybe even watch your neck for this one. So your inhale, your gaze comes slightly forward, but we don't want to extend our neck too much. So I give a little chin tuck there, and then exhale, lift the spine up to the ceiling. Let the head hang down a little if your gaze is in between your hands and your knees there. Just do one more round there in your own breath. Inhale, and then exhale. Now we're going to add into it child's pose. So adding just one more pose into that, and we have a transition pose of just in tabletop too. So inhale here, exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly softens down towards the ground, and exhale, presses your hips back to child's pose. Let the shoulder blades spread across your back here, and then maybe even just push the breath into the back of your ribs there a little bit. Inhale up to all fours. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly softens down towards the ground, and exhale, press the hips back towards your knees. Another thing you can do, if you like, is to tuck those toes under. Just these. This is the warm-up part of our practice. So if you have tension or fasciitis in the back of the heels there, it can help to tuck the toes under if that feels comfortable for you. Nothing is helpful if it's not feeling comfortable for you. Okay, so we'll do one more round of that. Inhale here, exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly softens down towards the ground, and exhale, press the hips back towards the heels. Inhale up to all fours again. And then we're just going to inhale, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. And then for our next inhale, we're going to reach the left arm away and the right leg back. So I'm just going to take a breath or two here to move backwards so I can reach my arm forward. To give you some alignment cues, I want you to see, can you keep that leg, so the lifted leg, the right leg, no higher than hip height, otherwise we are inclined to crunch it into our back there. And it can be lower than hip height if that suits you. Have a little look under you, make sure there's both pointy hip bones there at the front are parallel and parallel to the ground there. Cinch this left hip in towards the midline. It wants to kind of swing out to the right hand side. Cinch it in towards the midline. Use the whole circumference of your waist here. So all 4 sides of your waist, front, back, left, right. Soften that shoulder, even though that left arm is holding the weight of the left shoulder is holding the weight of the arm. This is going to be our inhale, and then exhale. We're going to diagonally reach the elbow towards the knee. When we finish our exhale, lift. So lift that elbow and the knee up towards your chest, and then bring everything back down again. This is our inhale. Exhale, we're going to pivot the right foot off the mat. Reach the left leg away. Now we're going to do a little flow here. You're going to reach it's kind of like a side pose twist, because I want your upper body to be kind of facing down towards the ground. Feel that nice stretch on that left hip there, and a little bit of a corkscrew to the whole spine there. Bring your left fingertips to your left temple there. This is your exhale. And then as you inhale, you're going to rotate and open, even maybe past the side bend, just depending how your spine is feeling. As long as you feel a lovely opening to the chest there, this is your inhale. Okay, we're going to flow through that. Exhale, bring the elbow down towards the ground, fingertips nice and light on your temples there. And inhale to open. Exhale to bring the elbow down. And inhale to open. And we'll do one more of them. Exhale to bring the elbow down. Inhale to open. Exhale, bring that left hand down, plant that left knee down on the ground there, coming back to all 4s. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the second side. And this is kind of our little warm-up flow that we're going to put at the start of every standing flow. So we're going to really get into the swing of it now as we come into our standing flow. So I'll go slowly again for the left-hand side, just to find those little alignment cues and making sure we're balancing and using our core when we're reaching our arm and our leg back. Okay, so inhale, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, this time you're going to reach your left leg away and your right arm forward and move back again. Okay, so those little alignment cues again, make sure you hug that right hip in towards the midline. Have a little look under you, make sure those hips are parallel to the ground there. Press strongly out through that left heel now. Make sure that leg is nice and strong. And the fingertips or the palm is facing in towards the midline here. Soften that shoulder there as well. This is our inhale. And then exhale, diagonally draw the elbow towards the knee there. When you finish the exhale, lift up towards the chest. And then inhale back to all 4s again. I'm going to turn around, you stay where you are, just don't have my back to you. Pivot the left foot off the mat now, reach the right leg away from you there. Bring your right fingertips to your temple. This is your exhale. So you're curling, or not curling, you want to length through the spine. You're rotating through the spine there so that your shoulders are potentially parallel to the ground, maybe not quite, just depending how your twists are feeling today. This is your exhale. Inhale, you're going to nice and slowly open up to the side, maybe even a little bit past side line, until you feel that lovely chest through, or a stretch through the chest. This is our inhale. And then exhale brings the elbow back down again. Okay, so feel that lovely twist through the whole body there, and then a really exaggerated opening to the chest there, really expanding the lungs. So lung opening, twisting, lots of things going on for the immune system here. Okay, we'll do 3 rounds of that. This is your exhale. Inhale, slowly open up to the side, expand through the chest. And exhale to come down again. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to open, let the chest expand. Really feel that breath in the right lung there. And exhale, we'll do 1 more. Inhale to open. And exhale to come back to all fours. Okay, so we're going to start our standing flows. We're going to go through one of them to get to our standing flow, okay? So inhale, we're doing the right side now, and we'll just one breath for each pose. Inhale here, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the right leg away, the left arm forward. Exhale, elbow to knee, lift at the end. Inhale to all fours again. Exhale, pivot that left leg off the mat, reach the right leg away, or sorry, pivot the right leg off the mat, and the left leg reaches away, fingertips to the temple there. Exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale to come back down again. Now we're going to move to the standing. So inhale, step that right leg forward, tuck the left toes under. Exhale, lift that left knee, step that left leg forward, folding down. Inhale to come up halfway, press your hands into your knees there, reach the chest forward, little back bend. Exhale, the whole breath folding down, inversion. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and then exhale, sweep the arms back, step that left leg back now. Make sure that your feet are nice and wide on your mat there, at least hip height. Inhale, interlace the hands behind your back there, reach them down in between the legs. And then exhale, you're just going to hinge forward, but keep the chest nice and open here. Stay up reasonably high on the hips there. Inhale to open, and exhale to hinge forward, keeping the chest open. Inhale to open, and exhale to hinge. Okay, we're going to take into a twist next for a second little mini flow. Inhale to reach the arms up high. And then exhale, sweep the right arm down and all the way back. As it comes back, you twist to the right. And then sweep the arm forward to inhale. Exhale, sweep the arm forward and back to inhale. Or sorry, to exhale. Inhale to reach and exhale to sweep it back. Inhale to reach again. Exhale, hold on to your left wrist with your right hand and hinge your whole upper body over to the right hand side now. Feel an extra little stretch through that whole left side of the body, from the left fingertips all the way down to the left foot. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. Exhale, gently place the hands either side of that front foot. Left knee comes down, right leg comes back, and finding your way into all fours again. Let's continue. Inhale here, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, this time the right arm reaches, the left leg comes back just for half a breath. And exhale, draw the elbow towards the knee, diagonal. Push all the air out, lift it up towards your chest. Inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, pivot the left foot off the mat, reach the right leg away. The right fingertips to the temple here. This is our exhale, and then just for one breath, we're going to inhale, open it out to the side, feel the chest expand, and exhale back to all fours again. Your next inhale, you're going to step that left foot just to the inside of the left hand. So make sure it is just to the inside of the hand, so that when you pour the weight onto the feet, that the feet are already in the correct position. Tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee. Exhale, step that right leg forward, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, press the hands into the knees, really reach the chest forward there, open the chest, and exhale, folding down, a little inversion. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, left side flow one. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And exhale, sweep the arms back and step the right leg back now. Interlace the hands behind your back. For your inhale, you're going to reach the arms down in between the legs there. And then exhale, you're simply just going to hinge forward over that front leg. But I want you to see, can you really keep the chest nice and open there? Inhale to open up, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, it's just your pelvis that's tilting forward. The spine stays stationary where it is. Inhale to reach. And exhale to hinge forward. Inhale to reach again. This time we're coming into our closed twist. We're going to sweep that left arm forward. Keep rotating until it reaches back and reach the right arm forward. Inhale to reach both arms up again. And exhale, sweeps that left arm back, coming into our twist. Last time, inhale to reach both arms up again. And exhale, rotating that left arm back. So nice conscious transitions here, that your practice is about the poses and the transitions of the poses. Inhale to reach both arms up again. This time you're going to hold on to the right wrist with your left hand, lengthen through the spine on an inhale, and exhale, hinging over to the left hand side. So keep the whole lower body exactly where it is, and it's just the spine that's moving here, and the arm obviously, but the spine is the main mover. Inhale, reach both arms up again, and exhale, both hands either side of the front foot, bring the right knee down, step the left leg back, and coming back to all fours. Okay, we'll move into our second flow now. You'll get into the rhythm of it because there's a lot of repetition with the whole front bit and how we get into our flows and the whole finishing bit. The bit that changes is just those little mini flows, the ones that we come in and out of 3 times. So lots of repetition there. It's a nice bit of comfort in familiarity. Inhale, the belly softens towards the ground, and exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, we reach our left arm away and the right leg back, press out through the heel, and exhale, draw them towards the midline. Inhale, back to all fours again, and exhale, pivot the right foot off the mat, reach the left leg away, fingertips to the left temple here. Inhale, just one breath, opening up, and exhale, back to all fours again. Coming up to standing now, so inhale, step that right leg forward, tuck the left toes under. Exhale, step that left leg forward, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, press the hands into the knees there, reach the chest forward, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, second standing flow, left side, inhale, reach, or right side, inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline. As they come to your heart center, then start to sweep the arms back. Step the left leg back now. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up high again. Now, for this one, I'm going to give you a couple of options, because what we're going to do is step that left leg forward and up, and then step it back. So let me give you a couple of options here. Arms reaching or arms to hips. So that's different options for the upper body. Now that you can have the leg back in your full high lunge, or you can have it just stepped a little bit, kind of halfway back your mat, and then concentrate your attention on really pouring all your weight into that right leg there, finding those 3 points of contact with the ground and really using them to press into your sticky mat like they've got little suction pads on them. Okay, so there are your 2 different options. And again, if this is too much or your balance just really isn't with you today, just bring the foot down on the mat and lift it up, flex the foot, and then bring it down again. And you'll meet us all back when we step back to continue our flow. Okay, so I'll start with my arms reaching, see how it goes. So inhale, reach the arms up high, and then they come back. So exhale, swing the arms back and lift that left leg up. Inhale, reaches. See, can you keep those hips? They will kind of tilt as you come forward, but see, can you really use those stabilizing muscles to bring as little movement in the hips as possible as you really slowly and gently raise that left leg forward. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and exhale, sweep the arms down, lift that left leg up, flex the foot, use the core. Inhale, reach the arms up high. So really slowly stepping that leg back as well, whether it's beside you, halfway back, or all the way back. A slow movement really is going to train those deep stabilizing muscles of your hips. Inhale here, last round, sweep the arms back and lift that left leg up. Flex the foot, flex the hip. And then we need to get back now. So inhale, reach the arms up high again. And then our second flow is exhale, pivot. Remember this one, we've done it lots of times before. Come up high on the ball of that left foot and swing your entire left knee out to the side. So this is the action that I'm looking for here. It's like, you know, you're kind of stomping on something, and it's the knee. So it's like the knee stays bent, and it's the whole, the arrangement of the bent knee circles in the hip socket and opens out, and you find your way into goddess pose. Okay, and we'll flow through that a few times. There, the exhale is when you're in goddess pose. So we're going to come up on the ball of the foot, pivot around again, reach the arms up high, so the hips are coming to the front of the mat now. This is our inhale, and then our exhale is you're pivoting on the foot, opening that knee. So keep the knee kind of nice and high, and then coming into our goddess pose. Hips come heavy here, press into both feet here. Come up high on the ball of the foot again, pivot to the front of the mat, last round. And exhale to the side of the mat into goddess. A lovely rotation of the hip, smooth rotation through the hip there. Need to come back to the front again. So inhale, reach the arms up high again. And then exhale, you're going to bring your right hand onto the small of your back there. Reach your left fingertips up and back to the back right corner of your mat. Bring a lovely arc through your whole body. Maybe even see, is it available for you to press out through that left heel there and straighten that left leg to get a little bit more of a stretch through the hip there. Inhale, reach both arms up high again, and exhale now nice and gently, because that was a lovely opening back bend there. Bring the hands down either side of that front foot. Bring left knee down, right knee back, and find your way into all fours again. Okay, let's go to the left side now. So inhale, belly softens down towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, you're going to lengthen that left leg away and the right leg forward, flex the foot. And exhale, draw your elbow towards your knee underneath you, lift. Inhale to all fours again. And exhale, pivot left leg off the mat, reach right leg away, fingertips to the right temple there. Inhale for just one breath to open, feel the breath in the right lung there, and exhale back to all fours again. Inhale, you're going to step that left leg forward just to the inside of the left hand, or wider if you need it. Get the feet ready, and then tuck the left toes or the right toes under. Lift right knee on your next exhale. Gently step that right leg forward, folding down, inversion. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward, back bend, and exhale, folding down, inversion. Inhale, press into your feet, particularly the heels, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down midline, then sweep them back, and step your right leg back now. So the left leg stays forward for our second side of this second flow here. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Now deciding yourself whether it helps you to keep the hands on the hips or whether you want to keep them reaching, whether you need to step that leg forward a little bit, whether it needs to be beside you. So just get the leg ready so that we can go through the flow together. Inhale, reach, and then exhale, lifting that right leg up now. Lift it up as high as you can. Inhale to reach, nice and slowly. So see, can you touch the toe down onto your mat, regardless of where it is, as softly as possible, so that everything is working in your hips and your legs to keep the movement nice and smooth. Inhale here, and then exhale, lifting that right leg up. Inhale to lift the arms up, and exhale, leg lifts. Flex. Inhale, reach last time. Or that was our last time. Okay, so we're moving into our goddess poses now. So I'm going to move to the back of my mat so I don't my back to you. You still now have your left leg forward. This is your inhale. And then remembering now you're coming up high onto the ball of that right foot. My knee is bent, and then my whole knee opens out to the side, and I bring my hands down the midline in prayer position, goddess pose. And then I come up high on the ball of that right foot again, and pivot the whole hips around to come into my high lunge for my inhale. Exhale, pivot the whole leg around, goddess. And inhale, high lunge. One last time, exhale, goddess. Inhale, a high lunge. Okay, now this time I want my left hand on my lower back there, so the palm of your hand on your lower back. And I'm going to sweep the palm, my right hand, to the back left corner of my mat now. Feel that lovely arc through the whole body, and remember that little cue of, without locking the knee, but pressing through that right heel now, so you get an extra little stretch through the whole right side of the body when you do that. Inhale, reach both arms up again. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot. Bring that knee down and step it back to all fours. Okay, we definitely have time for one last flow here now. So let's keep moving. So inhale, the belly softens towards the ground, and exhale, lifts the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, we're going to reach that right leg away. You're in the swing of it now. You know where you're going. And then exhale, draw elbow in towards knee. Lift at the final bit of the breath. Inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, swing that right leg off the mat. Reach left leg away. Left fingertips come to the left temple. Inhale to open through the chest there. And exhale, back to all fours again. Inhale, step that right leg forward just to the inside of the right hand. Tuck left toes under, lift left knee. And exhale, step left leg forward and folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we're going to start a little bit differently for this one. We're going to add in a kind of a nice chest opening chair pose. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, bending at the knees, bending at the hips there. Bend the elbows out to the side. So keep those elbows shoulder height. Reach the arms back. So feel like you're trying to lift your chest over an imaginary bar behind there. So a lovely chest opening version of chair pose. And it doesn't matter if you're not down as far as you usually are for your chair pose. Inhale, reach both arms up again, and then exhale, step that left leg back now for arrowhead. You're going to ground that left foot down now and start to open your hips up to the side of the mat. For our inhale, you're going to start to creep that left hand down your left thigh, reach the right arm up and over, and find your way into reverse warrior. So this is going to be our inhale. We're starting our little, our first mini flow of this standing sequence. This is our inhale, and then exhale, bring the arms nice and wide, and we're going to bring that right elbow to the right knee, reach the left fingertips up and over. Try not to let too much weight go into that right elbow there. Use your whole core. We're going to be flowing in it, so you won't have much time to lose the strength of your core, but use your whole corset core, this whole 360 wrap of your core, to contain the weight of your upper body and not let too much weight pour into that right arm there. So this is your exhale. Let's sweep through that now again. Nice long and consciously sweeping arms. Inhale, reach that right arm up, and exhale, sweeps the left arm forward. Inhale, right arm up and over to the back of your mat. And exhale, left arm to the front. We'll do one more of them. Inhale, sweeps right arm to the back. And exhale, left arm forward. Okay, so you're going to keep the legs where they are. And we're going to go through skater to the front and then skater to the back. So skater being this one where both arms are reaching. Or you can have that left arm slightly further back. If both arms reaching makes you collapse into the shoulders there, maybe keep this left arm reaching halfway forward and the right arm reaching forward. Okay, so just depending on whether if the whole weight of the upper body starts to curl your shoulders, adjust. Okay, this is your inhale, and then you're going to sweep the arms up high, straighten both legs, bend left leg, and then come to skater at the back of your mat. So either that right arm bent now, left arm forward, or both arms reaching, depends what suits you. Okay, reach both arms up. So the feet are just pivoting to the front of your mat and then pivoting to the back of your mat. Exhale to the back. Do one more of them. Inhale to the front, right leg bent. Exhale to the back. left leg bent. Need to get back to the front, so inhale, and all the way to the front. You're going to bring your right elbow down to your right knee, and remember that whole idea of not letting too much weight pour into that. We're going to do those little chest openers that we did in what we do in our warm-up sequence. We're going to change the breath now, so I want you to notice how it feels to do the opposite, and often there's just different things we're looking for in the breath. So even though it makes more sense to expand when you're inhaling, a different thing can happen when we're exhaling. It kind of causes this pressure in the abdominal region, so it's incredibly good for your gut. So, you know, it's good to play around with the breath. So for this one, inhale is going to be the elbow reaching down towards the ground. Or yeah, inhale, reaching down, and then exhale, opens up. Inhale, reaching down, and exhale, opening up. Again, we're doing our twists here. Inhale, reaching down one time, and exhale, opens up. Then bring both hands down, either side of that front foot, pivot that left foot around, bring the left knee down, bring the right leg back. And we'll do our last standing flow now. We'll start with our warm up again. So inhale, belly softens towards the ground. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach that left leg away and the right arm forward. And exhale, elbow to knee. Lift the spine up, lift the knee and elbow towards it. Inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, pivot that left leg off the mat. Right leg reaches. Right fingertips to the right temple there. Inhale, opens through the chest, and exhale, brings everything back to all fours again. Inhale, we're going to step that left leg forward now, tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and exhale, steps the right leg forward, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward, find your back bend here, strength through the whole back body, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high, and exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, last round, you're nearly there now. We're nearly into our restorative. We need to do our standing flow on the left side. We're going to start with that chest opening chair pose. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, bend at the knees, bend at the hips, bend at the elbows, opening the chest. So it's like you're trying to push the palms of your hands back towards the back of your mat, but see, can you keep those elbows at shoulder height? Inhale, reach everything up again, and exhale, step that left leg forward now to the back of your mat. Okay, you stay where you are. I'm just going to adjust. Okay, you're going to ground that right foot now. You're going to ground the right foot, creep the right hand down your right thigh, and circle the left arm up and over, find your way into reverse warrior. This is our inhale here. Then for the exhale, you're going to bring the left elbow to the left knee, reach the right arm up and over. Inhale, sweeps left arm back. Exhale, sweeps right arm forward. Inhale, sweeps left arm. Exhale, right forward. Okay, so we're going to come up a little bit. And we're going to swap from front to the back of the mat in our skater pose. So remembering that option of that right arm now bent or else reaching forward, depending what suits your shoulders. This is our inhale here, nice and upright through the spine. So it'll be tempting for your body to kind of get into this type of a thing. Stay nice and open, collarbones nice and wide here. This is our inhale. Pivot the feet around, back of the mat. Sweeping right knee bent, right arms reaching. Exhale. Inhale to the front of the mat. And exhale to the back of the mat. Let's get those arms sweeping overhead. Inhale to the front of the mat. Exhale to the back of the mat. We'll do one more round. Inhale to the front of the mat. Exhale to the back of the mat. Now we need to just get to the front of the mat again. So inhale to the front of the mat. You're going to bring your left elbow to your left knee there. Right fingertips to your right temple. And we're going to swap the breath here. So we're going to inhale as that right elbow comes down towards the ground. And exhale to open the chest out to the side. Inhale to bring the elbow down. and exhale to open. So see what it feels like to expand the chest, even though you've pushed all the air out of it. Last round, inhale and exhaling to open. Okay, both hands either side of the front foot. Bring that knee down, step that right leg back. Let's just take a few rounds of cat-cow to ease any tension through the spine out before we come down to our restorative pose. And maybe even some figure eights with the hips there. Any little bit of movement that you feel will help you to find your restorative, or be prepared to come down to the ground to let yourself assimilate the practice. Okay, so we're going to start off with that nice one that I'm pretty sure we've done before, where we're going to get a blanket roll and position it in 3 separate places along our back. So just actually, I'll get my blanket roll ready and I'll see, can I show you from this position where it's going to go. So you have your 4-fold blanket again. It doesn't need to be very, very thick for it to create quite a strong back bend, because we're going against the curve of the spine. As you kind of see from my side there, the upper spine is curving forward. When I put a blanket at it there, we're going against the curve, so it can be quite dramatic, even though it can be a small blanket. Right, so the first one, if you can see my shoulder blades there, can I get them to stick out there? That little pointy protrusion there is the tip of my shoulder blade. So I want for my first round, I want the blanket to be sitting on the tip of my shoulder blades. And when I come down to the ground, often I'll give you the cue of, it's kind of two fingers distance between your armpit and the edge of the blanket. So that's the first position. The second position is a little bit further down, but we don't want to fall into the soft tissue at the back there, where we've run out of rib and we don't have any, and the hip hasn't started yet. So it's kind of like, if you feel for the back of your rib cage there, we want it to be sitting, so it's like the roll is just above the last rib there. So we don't want it to fall off the ribs, and then we're going to open through the lower chest there. Then the last one is actually, we're going to move all the way down to the back of the hip crease. So you can see there, that's my hip crease. So for me to open that hip crease, I want my blanket to be on the opposite side to it. So you can see there, it's the opposite side to it. And then that way it will open the front of the hip there. Okay, so we get started. You come down to the ground, and again, I'll talk you through it and remind you where you should be feeling it, or hopefully that you will be feeling it. Okay, first one, shoulder blades. So tip of the shoulder blades there, coming all the way down, and remembering that little reminder that I have about 2 fingers distance between my armpit and my roll there. So I feel I'm a little bit too low there. Okay, so just get yourself in a position. Really, I suppose you're looking for a position where you'll be guided by the sensation. So, you know, as I said at the start, you don't need much of a lift here. I've got quite a low blanket underneath me, but I'm still feeling a lovely opening to the front of the chest there. So arm positions completely up to you. It just depends what way your shoulders behave in general, but also how they behave today. So you can bring the arms up in cactus position. And but really I would advise only if they are comfortably reaching the ground. So if there's any part of either the wrist, the hand, or the elbow that's hovering off the ground, that's going to create tension, and we're not looking for gripping and holding in the restorative part of our practice. We're wanting everything to melt and feel safe. Gripping and holding has its place when we're moving, because it's holding things where they need to be held. But for our restorative, we're asking the nervous system to trust us. So we don't want gripping or holding. So second option, which is fairly accessible to everyone, is the arms in a T shape. And again, I'll still feel a lovely opening to the chest there. If T-shape, if you don't have room for it or it still doesn't feel good for you, you can bring your arms down either side, but have a good bit of space between your body and your arms, because you'll notice as you incrementally come out of those, you know, the arm position definitely dictates how much opening we feel to the chest there. So take whichever version of the arms feels good for you, and feel a deep, expansive, refreshing breath in your chest there. And feel this whole respiratory system feeding energy to your immune system. And see, can you find the breath? You know, quite easily feel the breath at the front of the ribs there. Can you feel the breath or just the movement of the breath in the side body? So the sides of the ribs and the back body. So that might just be a difference in pressure of your spine and your ribs on the blanket. So as you inhale, you might feel that extra little bit of pressure as you're pressing down into that blanket. And as you exhale, it might kind of get a little bit more subtle. Okay, so paint a little mental picture in your head of how this breath feels. We're going to bring the blanket down a little bit further, and it will help you to feel the breath a little bit further down. So we're here, we're kind of feeling it in the upper chest potentially. Now you're just going to lift the chest up a little bit, as much as you need to bring the blanket down, if you can find them, towards the lower rib cages. And I would kind of advise, it's like, I know the ribs sweep down at the sides, so try and find the lower rib at your back rather than the sides, because otherwise it'll be quite far down. Okay, so we're looking for kind of mid back until like you feel that front. So if you bring your fingertips to that lovely V of the front of the ribs there, the blanket should be nestled underneath the spine around that position there. Now see, can you feel the breath expanding the lower ribs there? And maybe even you feel the breath, you know, we're kind of stretching the belly a little bit. Can you feel the breath in the belly? So actually it might be nice to bring the fingers or the hands to the belly here. Let's place one hand on our lower ribs there, in just above that, the V of the lower ribs, and the other hand on our belly. And see, can you guide the breath into that right hand and the lower ribs and the left hand on the belly? Let the breath be soft. You can extend it a little bit, but you know, kind of just not getting too caught up in the sensations and chasing expanding sensations. Okay, we move on to our final position there. So just again, press into your shoulders and the back of your head there, and then maybe even lift. Well, you'll definitely have to lift the hips up. Now find that crease, your hip crease at the front there, and so that you might need to straighten and bend the leg, and then place the blanket directly underneath that. Lengthen your left leg away, and if that's going well for you and you can feel that lovely stretch, at the front of the left hip there, then lengthen the right leg away. So one little thing to watch out for here is to make sure that those pointy hip bones, so the kind of, you've got your crease there, and I've got my pointy hip bones just above the crease. I want those to be dropping back a little bit, so that'll prevent my lower back from overarching. So it's like they're draping back over your blanket roll rather than tilting up and forward, because if you can see my back there, lots of dark colors, but you know, you'd be able to see that I'm overarched here because my hip bones have lifted up too high. So I'm going to draw them back towards me and down a little bit to make sure that I'm maintaining the stretch to the front of the hips there, and I haven't overarched my lower back. And bring the hands to the belly there, or the hands either side of the body. Let the feet drop out to the side, or whatever shape that they want to take. You know, I suppose we all have habitual ways for the legs to lie, and so just let them do what they want to do, because this pose is about this gentle opening to the front of the hips. So let the legs be heavy. Let the chest and the upper body be heavy. And then just that mid body, the hips, that slight raise, and a little bit of an opening sensation to the front of the hips there. So it might feel nice again, even though we've moved away from the chest expanding, to bring the hand again to the base of the ribs, that little V there on the belly, and just continue to observe the breath. Okay, so again, gently getting ready to move on to your next pose. So bending the right knee up, firmly placing the foot on the mat, and bending the left knee up. Gently lifting the hips just enough to draw that robe blanket out from underneath you there. Bring everything back down to the ground. Keep the knees bent and just feel what it feels like to bring a little bit of a bend into the front of the hips there again. And rolling over to your right hand side, bring yourself up to a seated position. We'll get ourselves ready for our next restorative pose. So unravel that blanket that you had there into a fourfold, and then just lay that out on the center of your mat there. So we're going to take a lovely pose here where we drape the leg over the blanket or over the bolster. So we want to have the head lifted up. So make sure that you have maybe 2 blankets rolled or not rolled in this kind of a sized blanket. And I'm looking for this kind of a width here. So where that's going to be, that's going to be what my head is going to lie on. And for the initial part of this pose, we're going to be lying on our side. So what I'm looking for really is for, if you think about it, that blanket is just filling the space between the side of my head and the ground. We don't want it too high because that means we'll be extending the head to the side. So there's the floor, and I'm just filling the space between the side of my head and the ground. Okay, so the first part of the pose, we are going to come down to side lying. So I will just show you the arrangement I've got without the bolster there, and then I'll bring it. So I'm lying on my side. I've got my left leg straight there. I'm flexing out through the foot. I'll come down, and then I'm going to place the bolster there in front of that. And as simple as I'm just going to drape I'm keeping everything to the side of the mat there, and I'm going to drape my whole right leg on top of the bolster. So make sure it's totally supported. And you know, what angle it's coming from your hip will be dependent on how your glutes are feeling. If you've got tight glutes, it might feel nicer to reach the leg a little bit further away. If your glutes are okay today, have the hip coming or the leg coming directly out of the socket there, and then draping the whole length of the lower leg across the bolster there. And then you're just going to simply come down and bring your left side of your head onto your blankets there. I'm just going to be at a slight angle so you can still hear me, because I have that mic in my left ear there. Okay, and the left arm I have just reaching forward, or you can bend at the elbow there. And the right arm is just draped over my body. The hand is just down on the ground there. So just seeing what, you know, play around with your arm positions and see what feels nice for you. Now, relax that left leg there. You know, it doesn't have to be poker straight. We started it with a nice flexed foot, but, you know, now that we're lying on the side body, let it relax there. And that's why we have this blanket underneath us here, to make sure that, you know, there's a lot of pressure on that whole left side of the body there, because we're on a side position. So we have the blanket under there just to cushion the pressure points. Now, always remembering to adjust. Notice how that feels in the hip there. How does the inner groin feel on that top leg? Do you need to shift that leg a little bit? You know, you can always kind of move the bolster away from you a little bit and roll the hips a little bit forward or back a little bit if you feel that that will help you. You know, we're on a sine line position, but if there's anything that's uncomfortable, a little shift of the weight forward or a little shift of the weight back can help. Okay, so just listen carefully for a minute. What you're going to do is isolate the lower body, so keep that exactly how it is, and bring the arms into cactus position. So I have my left arm in cactus position there and my right arm in cactus position. I'm going to open my right arm cactus position out to the right side and come into a twist. So my lower body has stayed where it is. I've kind of worked a little bit towards keeping that left hip stacked over the right hip, or the right hip stacked over the left. It might come back a little bit, but just the idea is that the twist is coming from the stationary position of the hips. If you find that that right shoulder or that right arm, which is in cactus position, is again, if it's hovering in any way, you can bring that arm just down by the side of your body, or you can take one of the blankets that are underneath your head there and place it underneath that arm, just to fill the gap between the arm and the floor. Okay, so just, you know, remembering this is quite a deep twist here. So how you pad that right shoulder and that right arm will incrementally bring you a little bit out of the twist. So that's how you are going to control the extent of the twist to what feels totally nourishing to you and your nervous system. There's that lovely opening through the upper side of the right chest there, the right lungs expanding, and the whole abdominal region being wrung out with the twist. Very good for the respiratory system, the digestive system, the circulatory system, and all of this feeding back to the immune system. Okay, so getting ready now to just get your head around the idea of moving. And maybe take a deep breath here and gently maybe bring that right arm up and over, coming to your side lying. So we'll come out little bits at a time. And then just press into your right arm to start to bring you up a little bit. Maybe push that bolster out of the way, bring the right leg down, bend both knees, press into your right arm, lift yourself up. And you're just going to swing yourself to the other side. I'm going to come to the other end of my mat so that I don't have my back to you. And the same arrangement. So this time now I want my right leg lengthened out. So I'm lying on the right side body. I'm going to bend I'll show you there now. I'm going to bend my left knee up. I'm going to place the bolster underneath it. I'm going to see how it feels to have it coming exactly out of the hip joint. And see, is that okay with my glute there? Maybe even just push that right hip down there so that they're both stacked on top of each other. Lengthen that right arm forward and come down onto your right cheek. Right, the right arm forward and the left arm just sits wherever feels comfortable for that shoulder. Might feel nice to have that right hand just on the blanket there beside your cheek. Or it can sit on the mat in front of your chest, wherever feels good. And feel those sensations now of the pressure of the whole body on the right side of the body. All along the skin of the outer right side of the body, pressing into the support of the ground underneath you, the softness of the blanket, the firmness of the ground and the bows and the mat underneath you. And feel the contrast between that, you know, the kind of comforting, grounding, the support underneath you, to the lightness and the kind of texture and the temperature of the skin on the upper part of the body. So the left side of the body feeling light. And all that's pressing down on that is really just a little bit of that sense of gravity holding you down. And get ready to come into our twist now. So maybe just bring that right arm into cactus position. Bring the left arm into cactus position and open and sweep it out to the left side there. until the lower body stays exactly where it is and the upper body comes into a twist so that the left chest is opening up the left side of your mat. And then remembering, do you need, if your arm is in that cactus position, do you need a blanket underneath it to support it? Make sure that it's not hanging in space. Or if it's really not suiting you in cactus position, just gently bring that left arm down to the side of the left side of the body there behind your back. And feel the nice compressed feeling of all the abdominal organs there. Feel the breath, particularly in that left side of the respiratory system. And just notice how a deep breath can be a little bit more challenging when we're in a twist. And that is what is good about twists. Really nourishing all the cells and all the soft tissue of the respiratory system. Okay, so we're going to get ready to come into Shavasana now. So just simply roll your whole back of your pelvis onto your mat there, and maybe even shimmy that right hip over so that you're centered onto your mat. Take at least one of your blankets out from underneath your head. You don't want your neck to be too flexed forward for your Shavasana. And if you'd like, you can just kick your bolster underneath your knees there to take the version of Shavasana with the knees gently lifted. Grab one of your blankets and maybe place it over you, just draping it across your body there, staying nice and warm. And just finding symmetry. So shimmy the hips around, maybe just roll from left to right a little bit. Feel symmetry, or what symmetry feels like for you in the shoulders. Trace through the whole spine there. Make sure that you're in a nice neutral position. And then just yourself in your own mind's eye. Do a body scan and see, can you find, pausing particularly in those points of your body where you know you hold little patterns of tension. So do you hold tension in your jaw, in your forehead, in one of your shoulders, in your hips, in one of your legs, or both? Just rooting out any little bits of tension. And just asking it to release. Gently getting ready to come out of Shavasana. And rolling over to your right hand side and just taking your time. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position with hands in prayer position at your heart. Eyes gently closed, thumbs to your third eye, to your heart center. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me.